tradition since the early days of the NFL, and we're off on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit.
Here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback.
First down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming.
You know, Charles, for this defense, look, it's no secret. You're facing a team that is really, really struggling. They haven't won in what seems like forever, but sometimes a desperate team can be a dangerous team, right?
You're exactly right about that, but they shouldn't be. When they're on that type of a losing streak, it's incumbent upon you to take charge of this game early and not give them any reason to hope. Get out and attack them and make sure you knock them back on their butts.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
3rd play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3.
From the gun, here's Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
Fields to Kmet there for his Chicago first. A nice throw there for the 1st down. And this is a big moment for this young man under center. You know, he's had a few months now to get acclimated to life in the NFL, but you got to think, a little extra pressure here, right, CD? I mean, you're getting the start on Thanksgiving in front of the national audience.
Especially since you and I both know he's watched this game since he was, 4, 5, 6 years old and dreamed of playing in it. In fact, his family sent us some of those videos of he and his family in the backyard playing their Turkey Bowl games themselves. So now he's gone from the backyard to the big stage, and here he is.
Following the penalty, Montgomery. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Well, Charles, this Thanksgiving tradition, so great. I mean, going back essentially through the full century of the NFL, I know you probably have a lot of fond memories of Thanksgiving Day football yourself.
I certainly do, and I don't have the Turkey Bowl tradition. You know, the families that go out and play.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
We always hear a lot of veterans on the defensive side of the football. They talk about smelling blood in the water, putting pressure on a rookie. They got to him there to force it free, but couldn't recover it.
And you mentioned the pressure. Rookie quarterback, you're going to bring more pressure at him at all times because you don't know how he's going to hold up. He was fortunate there. Luck was on his side, able to recover that fumble.
Good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long. Here's Fields.
He's going to let this one go deep. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Hunter Nice-Swanner on a punt now on 4th down.
They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
First carry for DeAndre Swift.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
These two teams met up earlier in the year, back in Week 4, and it was the Lions who got the road victory in that one, so they'll be looking to claim the season series now here at home in Detroit.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach, and let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers, and they're growing louder that he shouldn't be around next year. He essentially stormed out of that meeting you just referenced with the reporters. How did he end it? We're done here. Well, that's a function of losing and all the pressure that's on it. You hear about pressure creating diamonds? In this case, it's bursting the pipes of the coach.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Out of the gun. Goff. He'll get this into the hands of Hodge. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 44-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift.
It's a room to maneuver. And finally out of bounds all the way down at about the 2.
52 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Rolling to his left. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And in for the Lions, touchdown. Hunter Bryant, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. You'd have to imagine for a team that's lost 3 straight games, scoring first in this first quarter has to feel pretty good.
That's feel great for them, and also it's a nice signal to the rest of the team because we talk about complementary football all the time. So they've now signaled to the defense, now signaled to the kicking game, hey, we're here to play in this one. We're going to do our part. Let's see if you guys will do the exact same, and we can break this losing streak.
Here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
And they, almost to a man, told us how excited they are to be playing in this traditional Thanksgiving game. But we have to remember, this is a team that lost on Sunday. Now they get a very quick turnaround to play again. How difficult is that to do?
It's difficult under any normal circumstance when you're coming off of a loss and you have a quick turnaround. The first thing is to put the loss behind you and move forward. But when you play on Thanksgiving Day, everyone's watching you. It's an added bonus, though, because now you put the loss behind you. Get that taste out of your mouth, because the taste you want is victory, turkey, and pumpkin pie.
One play action. Fields. That's complete right side to Kmet.
And he goes out right around the 39. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. 3rd and 4, he did just enough, and I mean just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there.
And it's intercepted. Picked off by Will Harris. There he goes right side. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and it's now 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
Here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts now to return it.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. Evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
Another big play here as they strike for 31.
First down, here's the run to Montgomery.
Big hole up the middle.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. So 3 plays already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. Montgomery. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. David Montgomery, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have cut it to within a score.
So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
From his end zone, it's Corey Ballantyne. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more in what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win, but we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it all together. They've got a chance of coming out with a W.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
A play fake for Swift. Now Goff.
Escaping the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
You know, in following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter.
14-7. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
Fights through, and now a crease. And some room to run now. And they get this all the way inside Chicago's 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we could at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there. Here's Swift. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal here. A shotgun snap for Goff. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Big play coming here. It's third and goal. Here's Goff. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Seibert's kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
Here's James. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. On second and 10, Goff. And he slings one that's incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Back to throw, Goff. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. The 20. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is down to a field goal. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. From his end zone, it's Corey Ballantyne. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room. He's airing it out for Williams. And there's Williams. What a catch. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play.
Austin Seibert on a 49-yard attempt.
And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now.
So time it up for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway.
From his end zone, it's Corey Ballantyne. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Third quarter starts with a run from Swift.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines.
Bears take over first and 10 at their own 47-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for the second half.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Now it's Fields. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Picked off by Will Harris. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30.
Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ballgame.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone.
And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Meanwhile, Goff's throw taken in by Hockenson here.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles and really scatter some people, can't they?
And that will be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that?
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. His big Trey Flowers getting in there that time for the sack. Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
Fields throw there, complete to Mooney.
Fields pass, complete to Darnell Mooney. A pickup of 15 yards. But it's not.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Out of the gun, Fields. A throw left side taken in by Kmet.
They stop it for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Lions will take over.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking.
They've got his man complete. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
On 1st down, Swift. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Dancing to his left. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now at Ford Field. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
Fields.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked by Jeff Okudah.
And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. They'll run on first down. Swift.
80 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. Here's Goff. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Tavon Young. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Now with that interception, you feel like we got a ball game again. Remember, 2-score contest and still time left here in the 4th.
And in the old days, not too long gone either. Throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no. But the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there. And it's 2nd down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw pulled in by Robinson here.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Fields to the veteran Robinson for the Chicago first.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Fields throw complete here to Kmet.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Trey Flowers able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Another try after the 1st down sack.
Fields.
And here he's got Graham.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
On 4th down, Fields.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 23, and they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
Goff on target to Hockenson for a Lion 1st down.
Goff going to throw it. And this one's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Kadero Hodge, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else, ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
To throw again on 2nd down, Goff. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line.
That was awfully nice. Hit him in stride, and off he went. It was almost like the ball hitting him was like him receiving a baton, and he was running the anchor leg in a relay race.
On first down, Swift. And he'll get this one down to about the 17.
2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Now it's gone. And it's caught. Touchdown! Kadarius Hodge with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Back to throw, Fields.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Here's Fields.
He finds his man, complete. It's Grant. And he will finally be taken out of bounds.
Pretty good timing. He waited just enough for that post play to develop and laid it right in there.
And you know what a lot of teams do when they decide to throw a post route? Because it's a little bit longer developing play. They max protect. Bring everyone in, keep the tight end in, an extra back to make sure the quarterback has time to deliver the football.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. And they will take a knee here.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll run for it with Montgomery.
And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line.
The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Lions, the win is a good one for morale, but little else as they move to 3-8. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Chicago, the losses continue to mount as they drop to 0-11 on the year. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals.